Hi, it's April from the Noble Garden, and this is my 5th episode of my Beginning Gardener series. And this episode is going to be about starting seeds. So if you have made that decision and starting seeds is what you want to do, I hope you've already got your supplies. So I hope you got your soil, your container, your seeds, and we're going to go over all that. So my soil is already in a container because I've already split it up, and I've already started seeds because, I do other things, but I want to break this down simple for you guys. So let me show you what I've done. So this is my Pro Mix. This is my first year using it, and so far I like it. So I split it into 2 different containers. As you can tell, I've emptied that one out, and now I have this one. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pour boiling hot water on it, and I'm going to mix it up until it's not drenched, but damped. In case this is your first time hearing me talk about doing such a thing like that, you do that to kill off gnats. Gnats are these itty bitty flying bugs. They look like flies kind of thing, and they can harm the roots of your plants, and they're just the most annoying thing to deal with when it comes to starting plants. So I have learned in the past that if I hit the soil with hot boiling water, mix it up, let it cool down. If you can let it cool down for a week before you use it, that's better. Lately, I have not had time to do such a thing, so I just let it cool down, and as soon as it's cool enough, I start seeds. Now, what I'm starting seeds in today is a batch I've already had done weeks now. But let me show you the containers that I've used. So these are those little cells I was telling you guys about. These are my favorite thing to use. Whatever you've decided to use, just go with it. And planting seeds is actually not the hard part. So before I go to showing you planting seeds, some things to think about is your zone. Is it even time for it? We had an episode about that earlier, so make sure that you're not starting seeds with me right now if it's not time. Save this video for later, to use it for later. The other thing is what size bed are you using? How much room have you decided? And there's all kinds of different ways to garden. We've talked about it a little bit. What I think I've decided to do with you guys is I have an 8-foot bed that I would have plans for, but I want to share this experience with you, and I want to help you guys out. So I've dedicated this 8-foot bed to grow with you. And we'll go outside in a little bit, and we'll look at it, and we'll talk about it. But some seeds that I can start today. Today is February the 12th. I am zone 7B. And in about a month, it should be safe to put lettuces out. And lettuces are one of the easiest things for you guys to grow. So we're going to just start with the easier stuff. So that would be romaines, and that would be lettuces, and that would be chard. So I have started some seeds, a little bit of both of those. But I'm just going to kind of show you how to plant seeds right quick in one of these containers for you. One thing I want to show you right quick is seeds come in different sizes. So for example, the seed I'm about to show you, this is one of the bigger ones you could find. Well, maybe if I can show you guys. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but this is a spinach seed. It's not too bad of a size. When you put a spinach seed on top of the soil, you can see it. This seed is also like a pale color, so it's easy to. Some seeds are a darker color and it's harder. But you want to just, what I do, for example, this is romaine that I'm about to use, and I'm going to show you. These seeds are super small. I don't know how I can show these to you guys because they are super small. Hopefully y'all can see that. But I'm just going to go ahead and just lay them on top of the sail, and I could barely see them. But what I wanted to teach you guys about seeds is one of the questions that are going to come up is, how do I know what depth to push the seed into? The smaller the seed, the less you push it in. A lot of people say just kind of push it in the size that the seed is, like double the size. So with these romaine being this tiny, normally all I do would be something like this. I just push soil over it. Just a little bit of soil. Now, The spinach, I would have pushed it in the soil a little bit and then covered it up. So the bigger the seed is, the deeper it goes in the soil. I hope that makes sense. Because little things like this romaine, if you are pushing it too deep in, then it will not sprout. And that is, I think, an error that a lot of people make. And then you'll be wondering why your stuff isn't sprouting. Now the next question is how many seeds do I put in each? That is something you gotta decide. The newer seed packets, you can probably get away with putting one seed in because they should germinate pretty well. If you've got seed packets that are a couple years old, they're still good seeds. You can still use them. Doesn't mean they've gone bad. Just means their germination rate might be lower. So I would probably at least put 2 seeds per cell. And then if extra seedlings come up, I can show you what to do with that too. So these are some seedlings that I've already got started, and they are about to get their little trim work. And what I mean by that is you're going to see I have 2 sitting here. This one's got the thicker stalk, and that one's like the weakling is what I would say. So I'm actually going to here soon cut this one off and leave this one here, and it will grow better. And these seedlings right here are 4 weeks old, and you'll notice that I only have 1 per cell, and that's because I've already trimmed off the excess. All right, guys, so the next stage, you got your seeds in, you're ready to water. The reason why I like this system is because I get to bottom water, and what that means is the water is in the bottom of this tray, and the plant gets to absorb it from the bottom. The reason why you want to bottom water is to help fight back other type of funguses that can damage your stem of your plant. So I do pour hot, not boiling, but just hot water from my sink into these and give it 10 minutes to absorb. And then I drain the excess water because you do not want to leave water in here because then you will have root rot. I know these are a lot of things, guys, but after I do that, then I'm going to put them under the lights. And I do leave the lights on. I have noticed it helps with germination. So a question I'm sure is going to come up is, why do I use hot water to let these soak up? And that is to increase the rate of germination. I've been doing this the 2nd year, and I have noticed a significant difference for myself. So there you guys have it. Starting seeds is really not that hard. The next thing you're going to need is some type of setup, and it doesn't have to be as elaborate as I have. This is years of continuing to do this. We went over this in another video. I hope that you guys were able to find what you wanted to use. If you didn't check that video out, do check that video out because I gave several ideas to do, but I'll quickly just show you the setup. So I have all kinds of different lights on this one, but this is just a huge rack that we bought last year. The lights were lower, but as the plants get bigger, you're going to see them rise. You see how the first one is higher because those plants are bigger than the second one? The second one's closer to it. And that's because those seeds are younger. So the top seeds are 4 weeks old. The bottom seeds are 2 weeks old. And then I'm starting new ones. This is me doing a succession growing. You guys do not, as beginners, need to worry about that. I'm just showing you the setup. So I have grow lights, and on the bottom I have shop lights. When I started off, I did shop lights. I've never had a problem with shop lights. You just got to make sure you get them really close to the container and rise them as the plant gets bigger. That's one of the biggest things to keep that legginess out. Some of my stuff is a little leggy. Let me show you what leggy is. So let's talk about some seeds that we can start that I think are good to go ahead and start. And that is if you're deciding to do any type of lettuces, go ahead and get them started indoors. I think cauliflower and broccoli are a little harder to do. I still have problems with them, so I'm not suggesting them as a beginner plant. I am suggesting tomatoes can be a little bit tricky, but I do think they're safe enough for beginner plants. So if you want to start your own seeds for tomatoes, get those. Cucumbers, So let's talk about plants that are pretty easy to grow as a beginner, and that'll be lettuces that you can go ahead and start right now. And then in 2 weeks in my growing zone, I'm going to go ahead and start my peppers and tomatoes. And I think that that would be good. Tomatoes and peppers can be a little tricky. However, I think that with some guidance and some research, that you guys can do it. I think you guys can do anything you want, to be honest. But I just think broccoli and cauliflower, which I'm seeding now, can still be a little tricky, and I still have a little problems with it. Not meaning that you can't try it and knock it out of the ballpark. You never know. You just got to decide how far are you going to dig into this and how much devotion you're going to give it to it your first year. If you're just wanting to do it, go right into it. Do know there might be a possibility of failure, and do not get upset about it. Just use it as a learning tool. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to start peppers and tomatoes indoors. I can make a video on that if you guys want. I just think after showing you a little bit of the seeding, I don't think seeding is really that hard. I think the aftermath of seeding might be harder. And then, like I said, I have an 8-foot bed. So let's go outside and we're going to talk about what I'm going to plant in it with you guys just as a guidance. So I took you guys outside and I wanted to show you my 8 by 3 feet bed that I'm going to use as an example to grow with you guys. Everything I grow in this bed is going to be First Gardener friendly, and it should be easy, and it just gives you guys something to see. And if you're one of those that need to follow, you can follow it. You just, like I said earlier in the video, make sure you know your zone and when it's time. Some of you guys are ahead of me, some of you guys are behind me. Just make sure that you're doing it in the proper time for your area. So this is the bed I'm going to dedicate to you guys and helping you guys along. I'm excited. This series has been very exciting for me. I have enjoyed so much being able to guide you guys along, and I hope that it is helping you guys as well. Thank you for watching, and look forward to the next video with you guys.